thank you to Pekka and Foolish Things for the delicious coffee. All right, Michael Hitsman is here with Hitsman Ties, Hitsman USA on Twitter, if you guys want to blow their feet up. Very cool. I first heard about Michael and Hitsman Tie literally by some vintage tie. I don't know if that's the right fashionista term, but I saw it and I was like, wow, that is a nice tie. And then sure enough, we had a lot of similar friends and sort of hit it off from there. I'm going to not steal your thunder and let you talk about what you're doing, but very cool ties being made and designed here in Tulsa, and he's been all over the place in the fashion world. So I'd like to give it up to Michael Hitsman.
Well, thank you all for coming out. Pretty exciting to be here. Yeah, so this is Michael Hitsman. Not Tulsa born, but pretty much Tulsa bred. Been here almost all my life. And this is something that I started right here in town, in my garage, with my dad. And pretty much the basis of starting it was that I couldn't find what I wanted when it came to style, neckwear specifically. Just kind of going through that phase, like going off to college, being a junior, starting to build a wardrobe, buy suits, the things you're going to need to go out into the professional world. Then also seeing like GQ magazine and details and all these different style changes that were starting to go on a few years back. And you start to see neckwear come back, and I just couldn't find anything that I wanted to wear. So my dad owned a full-body costume business, and I didn't know anything about sewing, even though I had helped him out multiple times. And pretty much sat down, took apart a tie, made my own pattern, and got started. I never thought I'd sell things out of the back of my car, but it's kind of how it started out at first. At OU, and I started out hand making them myself. That was a little bit of a job. It was fun. It was fun to have that craftsmanship aspect, but eventually I didn't want to be the only one making them. I had bigger visions for the brand. So, started in 2010 here in Tulsa. Pretty much the goal is I wanted to have my own vision for a brand, have a brand that made handcrafted goods, anywhere from neckties, bow ties, pocket squares, and leather card cases. Eventually, I wanted to develop a full product line. That's still the main goal. The main product right now are ties and bow ties. We also have pocket squares and some leather card cases. In terms of neckwear, there's a lot of different fabrics. We have things that are custom fabrics made in England, different cottons and linens that are all hand-picked, and everything, especially right now, it's been a focus to have it all made in the U.S. So we have everything either handmade here in Tulsa or in New York. Here's some pictures of ties. It's a special collaboration we did with a company called Hitsman to bring a set of ideally inspired neckwear. Bow ties, box squares, leather card cases. Here's the pricing. You see a lot of different things out there in the clothing market, especially if you go somewhere like Barney's, New York. You might have a tie anywhere from where we're at, 75 to 225. A lot more like what you'll see here in town is anywhere from like the 49 to 89 range. So the main goal, pricing-wise, is just to be accessible. Depending on where you're at, you might want to buy 5 or 6, or if you're someone like where I was at when I started, I needed a couple, and so it's kind of, in terms of handcrafted neckwear, especially in the U.S., like a lot of U.S. goods you really see towards the middle to high range of pricing, just because of the cost of labor, and also if it's made in the U.S., you can pretty much bet on that brand really wanted to take the time to get the details right. And that's part of why I had it made here too. I took the time to go to New York, visit the factory, sit down and say, here's the details out there. And so, in terms of pricing, just want it to be accessible, but also reflect the fact that it's made with care and quality. We've been featured in GQ and the GQI, Bearings Guide, Ballet Magazine, Ivy Style, and then Tulsa World, Tulsa People, Oklahoman, various local newspapers. In terms of the future, The main goal is to eventually have a full accessories line that is of luxury quality, but also still accessible. And we want to expand new stores. We're sold downtown at Bison and Bear here at Fifth and Boston, and then at Travers Mayhem. Many of you have been there. It's at 81st and Lewis. And then we have stores in Oklahoma City that carry us, Austin, Texas, Alabama, Georgia. And also, another big facet of what I do right now in terms of neckwear is custom wedding orders. I think it's a nice thing for a groom to be able to customize something about the wedding process and have like his own special thing that's pretty much all his. And also it's a good gift to all the groomsmen. So we've really targeted that. And other restaurants too, any organization that wants custom tie, we can make that pretty much in any quantity. Starting here in Tulsa has been really great, especially because I have a older brother, Joel Hitsman, who owns Old Time Angler, which is pretty much an online hunting and fishing goods website. And for a while we could kind of had the bug to bring brands to Tulsa that we could never find here. You'd have to go to probably Dallas would be the closest place. And so pretty much we looked at Utica Square, Brookside, everywhere, and then they started doing pop-up shopping downtown. And we teamed up and said, you know what, I'll bring all the neckwear, wallets, anything that I've got made, that I can make. We brought us hunting and fishing goods, we brought in some more things, and we started a pop-up shop when they did the first all-day pop-up shopping a few years ago down here. So, where I mentioned that you can go see the neckwear by Bison and Bear, I'm going to also plug that because that's a store that we still have going. It started with the pop-ups, and we've stayed one of the only, there's only 2 or 3 shops that have stayed the whole time. So now we're located in the Phil Tower. Pretty much the main goal of Bison and Bear, like Hitsman brand, is to carry American-made quality products. So you'll find American-made denim there, notebooks, shirts, colognes, all kinds of things that are manufactured here in the U.S. We have different houseware goods too, some women's goods, not all men's store, but pretty much. That's kind of all I have really. We just started out as a brand and worked together with my brother to have Bison and Bear. It's a place to go shop downtown.
Open it up for questions.
I know last year you did a Kickstarter campaign, which I love my bow tie that I got from that, so thanks for that. So I think the goal of that was to go to Fashion Week in New York, so can you talk about that experience, what that, and also the kind of the whole thing of Kickstarter and Fashion Week and the ups and downs of Kickstarter and what you expected and how it was different, things like that.
Yeah, the Kickstarter experience was really good, but it's also been really interesting. Sorry. Really glad you like the bow tie, by the way. So we're still kind of in the process of actually showing at market, which is kind of another future goal, and we're looking at this July. I went last July to kind of check out the shows. They started a new market show called Liberty, and so right now there's 4 or 5, and I kind of wanted to be there in person and see what it was like before we actually presented to make sure that we had a great presentation as a brand, but also just to kind of scope out the competition, more or less. So that's been really good. New York is a very interesting place when it comes to fashion. Right now we're also kind of thinking about showing in Las Vegas, which is great because you have a lot of international buyers coming in. So that'll be an interesting process over the next few months to decide where's best to show. But it's been good. Kickstarter, it's been interesting just in terms of keeping in touch with the different backers. Some people you kind of find are really in touch about it. They want to keep updated, and the other half just kind of like, they're glad to back it, and that's it. So it's been interesting. Sometimes it's hard a little bit to regulate, like making sure people get everything that they're supposed to get. So it's been a good customer service experience too.
what are your goals for your company? I know you said you wanted to expand your product line out, but as far as sales goals, and what are the struggles that you have getting into places, and what are your sales like now, and what are you imagine your team down the line?
Yeah, good question. Starting out, like I said, I never anticipated to start selling something out the back of my car, more or less, out of a dorm room, whatever. So initially that struggle was contacting someone in a store. Any store I wanted to contact, in my eyes, they were the perfect store in that area, anywhere. So that was a struggle in the sense of trying to pitch something over the phone or through email, just not really having much to show for it, you know what I mean? But being in GQ helped out a lot, just with a sense of reputation, knowing that, hey, they're not joking around, they want to make a great product, someone nationally has recognized them. So that helped a lot. There's a store in Austin called Stag, and that was kind of the first big milestone. They're known throughout the nation pretty much as a really great menswear store. So after that, we want to expand sales by getting in more stores, and then also through kind of the custom wedding orders, things I mentioned. So that's probably our main goal would be like double the amount of stores that we're in this year, and then expand the wedding market. I've operated a lot off of word of mouth for wedding stuff, but that's kind of a new connection that we're looking to make. It's getting in touch with wedding planners, possibly weddings in Tulsa, different aspects of the community where people, it's like right in front of them.
So as you travel around, what's the reaction been to saying, yeah, I'm a fashion company based in Tulsa?
Yeah. From Tulsa, I always get a really interesting reaction just because fashion, you think of Dallas, New York, LA, and then overseas. So anytime I tell people that we're based in Oklahoma, you can tell there's a little bit of like how did that happen? But the longer that I've been in kind of the fashion industry a little bit, that you start to realize that there's actually a lot of people from this area that get into these kind of things, but they move. And so I think that's been kind of the main difference is that other things going on. I've been loving Tulsa. I've been here, so I'm constantly operating from Tulsa. But you get an interesting reaction in different cities and here. There are a lot of people that make ties in Tulsa, but overall it's been good because they like the product. They like that it's made in New York.
How did you get into GQ magazine, and were you ready for it when you got there, and what kind of sales did it kind of drive or yield?
Yeah, so it was a lot of phone calls, a lot of hard work trying to research who was the right person to get in touch with. That kind of info that I've found so far isn't just, they don't just throw it out there. They don't want, they want you to do your homework to get in touch with the right person. So I spent time getting in touch with person after person until I finally got in touch with the senior editor. And then that was kind of an educational process in general, just realizing how they work, how they decide what gets into the magazine. And ended up, she didn't even make the decision. She said, hey, send me the samples, but I'm still not the one deciding. So that was an interesting process. It was a blessing that they chose to use one of our ties. The best thing sales-wise was actually being on GQI. So I think a lot of people pick up a magazine and they use it more as like a reference, essentially. Just kind of like, hey, I like this. And they might take note of the brand. I think you see a lot more buying actually happening when they can see it through the blog, make a few clicks. So the blog helped out a lot more. Did sales go through the roof? No, not necessarily, but it's helped a lot of other things along the way.
Do you have any kind of celebrity endorsements? Anybody famous, like Justin Timberlake or somebody who's going to wear your ties or something like that? Anybody that you've got like on the list to connect with to try and blow that up?
So there's a girl I went to high school that did styling for recently, and that's been a relationship we're trying to start figuring out the best way to get samples to be used in TV programs or by a celebrity stylist. Currently, no, but it is also a good plug whenever Ty Burrell from Modern Family wears your tie in the magazine. That's kind of another thing. It's like, some people don't care about what's in a magazine, but if you tell them, you know, Ty Burrell is wearing it, they love it. But in terms of like an actual endorsement, not yet.
Can you give us just a general sort of breakdown of, I know you do a lot of wholesale stuff, and you're selling into, you know, retail shops. What's sort of the breakdown of the retail side online for you guys? And then how do you drive direct to consumer online marketing? What kind of stuff do you guys do online?
Right, so the process starting out as a brand was something I really wanted to do, had a passion for it, and I just wanted to make the products that I wanted to buy. Turning it into a business has been really educational. And originally I started out thinking that, you know, word of mouth, that would be it, kind of thing. Get into a few stores and grow from there. Certainly not the case. So most of sales-wise what we do is with other stores, wholesaling, setting up accounts, helping them customize a set of products that's good for their store. And then I would say after that it's wedding custom orders for restaurants, any organization, and then online. So online is certainly something we're wanting to expand, and even looking at possibly doing a new website. But in terms of like marketing, started to just utilize the social media marketing. You can do Facebook and Twitter, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
I have a question about wanting to expand the stores that you're in. Is your strategy remaining the same in that you want to find the best store in a certain location, of a certain city that you want to carry your product, or are you starting to look at wanting a chain of stores in several cities to carry your products?
Yeah, I'd say it's still a little bit the same in the sense that we really value the stores that have a reputation in the area that they're in. But we're also not against going into a chain. It's just creating and kind of finding the right fit, I would say. And I think that's something that we're going to more address in July when we go to market. And there we have all the people we can talk to there. So we haven't targeted a chain yet, but that's something we're open to.
Yeah, I have a question on distance quality control, because I deal with that a lot. How do you, because I know you're very, very meticulous about what the Hitsman brand is and what that looks like and who carries your stuff. How do you maintain quality control when you have people making your ties, you know, over 1,000 miles away in New York? How does that work? And are you on the plane all the time?
Well, it's really great in the sense that I'm able to find people who they're kind of in the same boat. If they're going to take on and help make products for a brand, they want to know about the brand. They're only going to make products that for a brand that values quality like they do, essentially. And so there's different places we have. We've worked with 2 or 3 different manufacturers, really dependent on different features that they will and won't do. You know, like one of the different things we like to do is have different colored tipping, which is like the bottom back part of the tie. So it all depends in terms of like who we're going to use, what they'll put into a tie, and what aspects they will work with us on. A lot of the quality control kind of happened in the initial visit, with me just saying it's really important for me to have XYZ aspects and make sure that they fit exactly within these dimensions. Because you don't want to advertise something's 2.5 inches wide, 3 inches wide, and then it's 3 1/4 or something like that. So initially, I had a little bit of trouble with that in the sense that there's just a little fluctuation, and that was kind of another educational process in the sense of building a relationship with them. And a lot of it happens over the phone or through email. And if I get stuff that isn't up to our standards, essentially, send them an email, pictures, like here's what we're looking at, and then just kind of the next round. set, continually making sure that the pattern they go by is exactly what we want.
So this is in a similar vein, so the production dynamics, right? So you're mentioning about quality control and as far as what you said with a potential change, their production dynamics are going to be much different than that. They're going to want a lot more upfront, et cetera, just kind of stocking things. How do you deal with that, or how are you thinking about that? And you might touch on kind of what the margins might be for something like that.
Okay. That's a great question, and I don't really know the answer, in honesty. Right now with stores, the way it works is we will come out with a collection, we'll have a stock, they will make their selections, or we'll advise on selections we think will work, and then we'll just be pretty upfront about what we have in stock, what we can get, and how fast we can get it if they sell out a certain item. So right now there's a lot of communication store to store in terms of if they want to sit, sell out, wait for the next round, or if they just want to keep replenishing. In terms of a large chain, I think that's something I'm actually still being educated on a little bit because I know it works a lot differently. And I followed a few brands that have kind of had that large boom. They presented to a store like Neiman Marcus, had a huge order, and then it took everything they had. So I'd say that's something we're still kind of working on, figuring out how it's best going to work. Then in terms of margins, right, for wholesale, so pretty much in the clothing industry in general, especially like specialty stores, it's almost 50-50. Like wholesale is half of retail, almost always. It changes a little bit with accessories, because usually they're a high profit item, but the margin still isn't that different, maybe like 40-60. So for most of our stuff, whatever the retail is, it's half.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you're in med school, right?
Yes.
And you've got this really cool brand. I'm going to hypothesize that your biggest limiting factor is manpower.
Yeah.
So what does your team look like? And given that you've achieved success already, what type of human resources do you think you'll need to achieve that next level of success?
Right. So starting out, I tried to do everything from photos to all the writing, website, 9 yards. And over the years, moved to now working with web developer, photographer. So that's kind of like the team we're building now. And a lot of them have been contacts that I've had in the past, just from high school or college, and then following these people, keeping up relationships. So right now, a lot more of what I do is just purely the design part of it. And then when it comes to sales and keeping up the relationships, it's myself, Joel, my brother, and then a few other family members, and then some business like mentors that we've got.
So what is it that you need then? In terms of
So yeah, and in terms of staffing, I would say right now the biggest thing is people that can help us in terms of marketing and better web development.
Okay, and then to piggyback off of that, what sort of your capital needs been like? I know you started your dorm room, you built that. Is it all self-funded, just your family and yourself? Have you raised capital? Are you looking to as you expand? What do you think about that?
So starting out, it was a lot of like self-funded. I'm just gonna go spend whatever I've got to buy some fabric, sell it all, kind of turn over, and then you realize that's a really hard way to do things. And so to this point, we've operated mostly off that, and certain like custom orders that have come in, and being able to turn that profit pretty much. In the future, I'd say yes, we're looking for capital investment, especially making a big change from where we're at now to hopefully developing a full line of multiple wallets, briefcases, all kinds of things like that. So going forward right now, so there, yes.
All right, Michael, one last thing I wanted to ask, and this is what we do here at One Million Cups, is we want to help accelerate your business. So what are some things we as the community can do to help you in 2014?
Yeah, so the biggest thing would be come check us out, visit our Facebook, like our Facebook page, follow our Twitter, Instagram. If you're shopping, if you need a tie, check us out first. Go down to Bison over there. We've got a lot of stuff there, and what we'll be carrying in the store is going to be really awesome this year. We've been really excited. We've doubled our space there. And then also, if you have any connections with people that you think like custom orders, a friend that's getting married, or a company, a restaurant that might want to have all their waiters wear the same tie, we'd love to have some more relationships with custom orders.
And we've got some ties in the back, right?
Yes,
So
we
if you
got
guys,
I brought some from the Hitsman collaboration that we did, the Ivy League inspired ties. All the silks made in England, they made in New York. You can check a few out.
all right, let's give Michael a hand. Just a few quick announcements. Dave, I'm going to give you about 60 seconds if you want to tell them what we're doing afterwards, what you're doing afterwards.
Hi guys, my name's Dave Berlin. I work right down the street. Most people know us mainly just as DJ Connection. I made the announcement a few weeks ago. We've got kind of a very well-established startup village there. Some of the companies have been running as long as 13 or 14 years. We have some that are still in the ground level phase. We've got Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge. We've got a couple different businesses, about 7 companies that all work out of our office. And this year we're trying to really educate people about what we're doing. We did our first big tour last week. We brought a class for marketing from OSU. They came through, and then we did a big presentation down here. Today we're launching our first tour through our office. We've got about 10 spots available. I know Brad's going to be there. We've got 4 or 5 other people, so I've got about 6 spots left. If anybody wants to come over, it's going to be right at 10:30. We're just right at the corner of 16th and Boston, so we definitely encourage. There's going to be a few freebies, some opportunities for some photos and stuff like that that you can use for a website. We have a studio and stuff that we're going to allow you guys access to. It'll be a lot of fun, so you guys are encouraged to come check it out. Just get with me after the meeting, and we'll talk to you then.
All right, thanks, Dave. As Tim mentioned earlier, we're always looking for good speakers, so please, presenters, so please let us know if you have anyone in mind. We're kind of lining up our
February
spots for January, so we're pretty tight through January and looking at February, but always looking for good speakers. Last announcement, TCC is having a program, 16-week program for entrepreneurs. It's called Launch Your eJourney. And they actually have a website, launchyourEjourney.com. And so you can check that out. But that concludes our 1 Million Cups for Tulsa. We'll be back here next week, 9 o'clock. Thanks, guys.